So you know that email drives an unparalleled amount of ROI, but you're like, where do I start? You're like, this is too advanced for me. I've been doing social media, I've been running ads, I've been doing podcasting, organic marketing, but I don't know how to leverage email. And I want you to really simplify it. I was talking to a client named Jessica a little while ago, and she was telling me how she did not know how to write emails, and I'm coaching her through, and I'm consulting her, and I'm telling her, and this is someone that's actually in the creative space. So she has like a writing offer for other filmmakers, okay? So she's a service provider, but she also develops curriculum. And so she was telling me about her problems on the consultation, and she was talking about, hey, I don't know what to write with emails. So I said, hey, can you just pull up some of your emails? I'll give you the rights to share all of that good stuff. I looked at the emails, and this creative person, this excellent writer, she just wasn't using her creativity, which tells me that a lot of people out there, a lot of us overcomplicate email. I used to do it too. Before I got into email marketing, I was in blogging and social media space and media, but I fell in love with email because of the impact and the results that it drives without looking like a bunch of vanity, without being super loud. You can speak to someone via email through the written word and come across as if you're speaking to them one-to-one, right? That's the thing that is so beautiful about email marketing. And so I'm telling this entrepreneur this, and she's just like mind blown. She's like, so I can just write emails the way that I speak? I said, yes, you absolutely should. And you should use your personality as well, because your personality is a part of your unique selling proposition. Aside from you having some type of emergency service, some type of offer that people need ASAP, you should also be including your personality. And so today I want to share one specific statistic with you from GetResponse. It's mind-blowing. I love looking at these statistics. I do this like every quarter. I like to keep up with the state of email marketing. And there has been such a shift since 2018 where it was all social, all ads. But now we are on the cusp of it being all email, because people are starting to understand that social media is good for lead generation. But closing sales, nurturing someone, providing a top tier experience via the written word is better with email marketing. So listen to this statistic from GetResponse. It's mind blowing. It's saying unparalleled ROI, email delivers an impressive return on investment. 75% of businesses, that's 3/4, that spend $100 or less per month on email report an ROI of $21 for every dollar spent, higher than any other digital marketing channel. And so if you've been on the fence about email marketing, or you are currently writing your emails and you're like, what am I doing wrong here? I would implore you to invest in your skill set, or invest in someone who knows how to do this for you, because email is where it's at. It's more personable to people. You're personally in their inbox, giving them a subject line, helping them to understand their problem. You're educating them on your specific industry, and you're coming through to give them case studies, okay? And so you're afraid of this new territory, but anytime that you encounter a new phase of business, I know if you're an entrepreneur and you've been an entrepreneur for 5+ years, you have a successful company, you know that when you reach those points of uncomfort and you're like, oh, I need to push myself beyond my current capacity, you're about to embark on something bigger that's going to give you a total business transformation. And that's literally what email marketing is. Email marketing has totally changed my life. Email marketing has changed my clients' lives. Like world travel, investing in masterminds, building out an additional part of their sales team, expanding their empire. This is what email marketing is all about. But getting dramatic sales with email marketing is totally about copywriting, okay? Copywriting. I'm a copywriter. I've been a copywriter for 9 years, and that's the foundation of email marketing. So it's not about the templates. It's not about what time you send the emails. It's not about the latest photography shoot that you did, but it's actually the core message that you are sending to people via the copy you're writing. So making sure that your content is not just ChatGPT generated, and you keep giving out this content and people are looking at it and you see the engagement that opens her up. up, but the sales are like not coming through the way that you want them to. That happens when people have a peak interest, but there's something with your content and your copy that's not nurturing them to a sale, okay? There's something where the trust is breaking down. There's something where it's like you're lacking the creativity, you're lacking the product marketing. And you have to assess your email marketing strategy and ask yourself these tough questions. Yes, these are tough things to hear. Yes, it's tough to get on a phone call with a consultant and say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm struggling right now. I feel like my email opens are great. I feel like I'm kind of doing good. But then when I go through and ask the deeper questions like, hey, how often are you emailing your list? What are your current open rates? What are your click rates? How many people are buying from you via email? How did they join your list? There's a lot of different factors here that go into selling on email with your emails, okay? Number 2, so we just talked about how to make sales with email using copywriting, but you also have to look at the lead magnet that you currently have. Because here's the thing. Unless you have a lead magnet like an ebook or a webinar that is specifically tailored to your product and your offer, to your solution, then you're amassing a big email list of people that may or may not ever want to buy from you, right? So let me give you an idea of generic lead magnet ideas versus excellent lead magnet ideas. Generic would be like the top 7 tips that you need to become more financially savvy. That's a little bit too generic. Yes, we're talking about the finance industry, but we need to get into the nitty gritty. Like, what is the actual process behind that? Can you actually tell me what the exact client is for that specific lead magnet versus 10 ways to get out of IRS tax debt before summer? That's and we have a timeline on that. So we have the timeline. We're speaking exactly to the problem and not just the generic industry. So you want to think about niching down your email list, even within your industry. Yes, you're in finance. Yes, you're a business advisor, but get more specific. Like, what's the nuance of the problem? Speak more to those pain points and use that as your lead magnet, and you're going to get better return on investment with your email marketing, okay? So I want you to imagine that you have this high caliber ebook or webinar. I say webinar or ebook because all of our clients, the best ones that get the best results years and years on end, they either have a webinar funnel or they have an ebook. Those are like the top 2 things. I know challenges are super popular, but challenges work best for like beginner entrepreneurs. People that are selling something high ticket over $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, something where the buyer is probably over 35, could possibly be over 40. You need to get down and just break it down in simple language and tell them what they need. They don't want to go through a challenge. They don't necessarily want to go through a bunch of hoops and loops. They want you to break it down plainly. That's another reason I love email. So we're talking copywriting. That's a way that you can get sales with your email list. We're talking about your lead generation, either an ebook or a webinar that is tied specifically to your product or solution. Third, the last thing that we need to talk about when we think about sales with email is analytics. Too many times, and I know it's super embarrassing. I've been there before as well when I wasn't looking at my analytics. I've been there with social media. I've been there with email. But really, you will be able to amplify your outcomes in business. You're going to be able to hire additional team members. You're going to be able to hire an integrator into your business. Expand your territory when you look at your analytics, because numbers don't lie. We all know numbers don't lie, but we say, oh, I don't have time to look at my analytics. I just want to post. I think that this will work. Well, you thinking it will work doesn't give us evidence and doesn't give us proof that it's going to work. So what if it's not working? What if your thoughts and what you feel is right is actually the bottleneck stopping you from making sales in your business? That's horrible, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. You can look at your analytics and pull the data and say, okay, these emails get the highest opens. These get the highest clicks. Let me repurpose and replicate these in a creative fashion in different ways. And yes, it does take time. So you can either take that time to do it or you hire an expert to look at those analytics for you. Either way, you need to have somebody's eyes on your analytics in your business for both email marketing and social, okay? But we're talking about email marketing today. So hopefully you've enjoyed this live. I urge you to go back at my last 2 lives from the last 2 days where I'm walking you through how to make sales with email, busting a lot of myths, talking about the relationship between email marketing and organic content versus paid ads, okay? So go back and look at those lives. And if you have additional questions and you want to finish this conversation one-to-one via a Zoom call, go ahead and tap the link in my bio at Tiffy G Writes. I'd love to talk to you and see if we would be the right fit working together. Have a good day.